Right, yes, hello. Right, so I thought I'd do an Electroneum video. I've never done a cryptocurrency video before. It's only going to be a quick video, but I just wanted to address some stuff that's going around in the market. Obviously, we're actually on quite a good day at the moment. It's gone into the green for most of the coins, but obviously, if you do like the videos, please let me know, and I will continue doing them. But yeah, so let's talk about Electroneum. I think we are in a really good position at the moment with Electroneum. It is going up a little bit, but the price. I want to talk about the price. The price should be irrelevant to people at the moment. Right. So if you've invested in this, you've invested because you believe in the project, or you want to make gains and you don't believe in the project. You just have a gut feeling that it's going to do well. Basically, I just wanted to give a few tips and advice on what happens when you do actually invest in crypto. So you should always do your research. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I just put that out there to take what I say with a pinch of salt. But I thought it'd be nice if I actually dropped a video down. So obviously you've got a cryptocurrency. You've read it. So obviously I've been with Electroneum since the ICO. So basically you've got your video. Sorry, you've got the cryptocurrency. You've gone through the ICO. You've read everything about the white paper, etc., etc. Now, obviously, with Electroneum, a lot has changed. So the initial thing to go for was the gaming market. But why wouldn't you, if you understood that someone else really liked the idea and there was a quicker route to market to get it where you wanted it to be, and then you can go on to the gaming market later? Why wouldn't you go for it? So obviously the mobile operators really like Electroneum. I really like Electroneum. I think basically the analogy I like to use is that Bitcoin was the wheel, right? So you've got Bitcoin as the wheel. Now the wheel was a great invention, brilliant invention, right? Blockchain. But since then we've built technology on top of it. Now what's the most common thing you associate with a wheel now? It's probably a vehicle, some sort of vehicle, car, plane, etc. So actually, what's come from the wheel is something that's better, and something that's really now useful for everything we do. Even in mechanics, you'd use wheels. So they've used the technology of the blockchain, which is what Electroneum is now doing, and they found a proper use case for it, an actual use case where it can do what it was intended to do. And when I say it was intended to do, what blockchain was intended to do, and what Bitcoin wanted blockchain to do. So obviously you've got your cryptocurrency. Just one more quick analogy. Again, with iPhones. So you had an iPhone. Everyone wanted an iPhone. It was the first phone that was a smartphone, basically, with the touchscreen, etc. And now the most commonly used phone is an Android phone. But Android built upon the iOS technology and gave people actually what they wanted rather than what the company wanted. So when you had iOS, you can only use iOS on their phones. So Android is now available to be used on any phone. So you've now got Android, which is open up to say you've got 10 types of phone in the market. Android is now on 9 types of phone, and you've only got one phone that can have iOS, which is an iPhone. This is what Electroneum is. So Bitcoin can only be used by people who understand Bitcoin. Electroneum can be used by anyone. An Android phone can be used by anyone. And depending on how tech savvy you are, Android gives you what you need. So most tech savvy people can do a lot more with Android than they can with iOS, because iOS gets blocked unless you obviously jailbreak it and basically void everything. So basically do something that you shouldn't be doing. So that's my analogy for it. So, but basically, if you're going to invest, you should only invest what you can afford to lose. So I was in before this because I invested in the ICO. So before even the exchanges happened, I was into Electroneum because I believe in it. And all this swings and nonsense is nothing to me, because I don't care what this says. This is going to be between $1 and $10. That's it. And I don't think it will let go any further than $10. It may creep around there, but I don't think it will go any further than $10, because then it's not a viable payment solution. And then it will come against problems that Bitcoin came against. So you can't really go and buy a burger with Bitcoin. You could buy a burger with Electroneum, even if it was at $1 or $10, because you could buy it in fractions of it, which would make sense to people. Say 0.5, or say it's $10, a burger costs $3, right? It'd be 0.33 of an Electroneum for your burger, which is a lot easier for people to understand. So I do think there's a great future for Electroneum. I think you should all prepare for the end of March, because end of March, you've got to also remember, end of March is where the end of the financial year is for most companies. So they want to make their profits look as healthy as possible, and to pull everything out of the crypto market that they've made profits on makes them look more profitable. They've got a lot more cash. So that could explain the dips and the lulls between end of year, when it was coming to the end of year. So you got a lot of people buying presents and pulling money out to buy presents and things for end of year, etc., etc. Then we had a bit of a lull here. I think this is more to do with the regulations that were potentially being discussed. We now know the regulations aren't going to be too bad. And they do want to see this grow, especially as the market could be. So I think we're going to be on an upward trend from there, and I think people need to stop worrying about the price. Put the money in you can afford to lose. Obviously, I am not an investment. I'm not your financial advisor, nor do I pretend to be one. But I do think that if you are, so don't always take my advice with a pinch of salt. But if you're going to invest, you should invest what you can afford to lose, and then don't look at it. Bit like eBay. Put your bid in, walk away. If you get it, great. If you don't, not such a big deal, try something else. But if you constantly refresh it like this, and constantly keep looking and looking and looking, you're going to start getting fear, and you're going to get dragged into bits where you don't need to have fear. You should. I look at it probably once a week, which is probably a bit too much. But I've put in money I can afford to lose. So when you put in money you can afford to lose, if that's in red, I don't care. I ain't selling. I'm only going to sell when it hits my $1 or my $10 mark. So anywhere in between them. So you could always in your head, or leave it on exchange, but you should know how much you believe it's going to be and how much you think it's worth. You then have that sell order in your head or on an exchange, depending on how you want to play it, but obviously it's risky to leave it on the exchange. You have it in your head what you think it's going to be, you set your sell order, you walk away, and you come back in a year, and if it's reached my target, I will then send it across to an exchange and take my profit. If it hasn't, I'll leave it in there, because the only point you ever lose any money is when you actually sell. So if you're brought here, right, and you're now here, you haven't lost any money, right? Now I know that sounds stupid, but you haven't, right? Because you've brought here, you've got so many coins, right? You've still got so many coins here. If you've still got so many coins, it might go back up there, it might go higher. So you've not actually lost anything. The only point you lose your money is when you sell it. And if you sell it and it shoots up, you're going to be kicking yourself. And also, if you sell it and you haven't got what you wanted from it, there was no point investing in the first place. So you have two types of people. You've got people who are selling to manipulate and scare people and think they're going to buy in sooner. But if everyone set their sell rate for a certain amount anyway, that wouldn't happen. And you've got your second group of people who've invested more than they can afford to lose. Unfortunately, the only people you can blame for that is yourself. You should never invest more than you can afford to lose. And if you have invested more than you can afford to lose, it's actually your problem, not anyone else's problem. So yeah, by all means, sell it. But I would advise you not to sell. Well, I say advise. Take that with a pinch of salt. Obviously, I'm not your financial advisor. In my opinion, I'm staying in. I know I'm up. I've been up the whole time, so I've not seen it go below. But you have just got to be able to take yourself away from it and understand that this happens in crypto. I mean, at one point I had 200,000 Ripple coins, and I sold about here, and I really wish I hadn't, because if I had sold around here, but then in my mind I never saw Ripple going to $1. So I saw Ripple getting to around 20 cents. When it did, I went. And looking back, I'm annoyed that I didn't make as much money as I could have made. But at the same respect, I made what I thought it would be. And I left. And all this time where it didn't move, I didn't bother checking it. I just left my money in there. And then when it hit the price that I thought it was going to be, so it was about here, I think, was it? About there. When it hit the 20 cents, I left. Wish I'd stayed in, but what do? You made money, be happy. So all I can say is you only lose money if you sell, and you only lose money if you sell at a loss. So the only time you actually make money is when you sell, and the only time you lose money is when you sell at a loss. So if you could have 1 million Bitcoin, right? But you've got no money. You actually have no money, right? When you sell that Bitcoin and turn it back into fiat, that's when you have money. So all these people who are up or down, they're just up and down on the ride. They've not finished their position. They've not closed out their position. They're still in that position. And if you had 1 million Bitcoins here, there's nothing to say that tomorrow that could be £1,000. It's very unlikely, but it could be. The same as Electroneum, if we go back, is sat at number 72, and it's sat there at the moment, but there's nothing stopping that tomorrow being worth £5. It all depends on what people put on their sell orders and how they see the coin and what they believe in. If you don't believe in the project, you should never have invested. If you invested too much, you should never have invested. And you're actually more of a gambler than you are an investor. But yeah, just thought I'd like to make a video about ETN. I've never made one before, so I thought if I make one and people like it, I'll make some more. But yeah, just comment and tell me what you think of ETN and how you see it in the future. Do you believe what I believe, and between $1 and $10 is a suitable price, and I actually think it will get there relatively soon. I'm not going to put a time frame on it because you just don't know. Could be tomorrow, could be next year. I'm hoping it's tomorrow, but you never know. So yeah, I just thought I'd make a video. Hope you like it. Let me know your comments. Thank you.